proceed. Now I want to show you the use of filters and filters, slicers, timeline, or multivariate analysis. What again? And how they impact your visuals and how they impact your visuals.
Endeavor to subscribe to this YouTube channel.
So let's start. I'm going to use a new sheet, a entirely new sheet for it, just to show you all of that. I'm going to delete the sheet later on. Okay, we're not going to use this sheet. So let's start. Okay, so on this new sheet, I'm going to insert a pivot table again. Good. Now, let us assume, okay, let's assume, just small assumption, that we have been asked to find the sales by product category. Sales by product category. Now, you would easily put category in rows, and then you put sales amount in values, right? So I'll quickly do the formatting. And you have your sales by product category, isn't it? But now, they now take it a step further and they tell you, oh, each one of these tables, how do I delete a pivot table? You have to highlight the entire thing and press delete on your keyboard. Or you right-click the column header where you have row labels. Right-click and click delete pivot table. Any which one. So now, all right. So now, what if they say, okay, let's take it a step further. And we know that office supply is generating the highest revenue, the highest sales. But in which country is it generating the highest sales? In which of the countries is it generating the highest sales? So what is the sales performance for each one of these product category in each country? So let's say it's something I want to see at once on my pivot table. Then what we are doing is a multivariate analysis. Okay. So I am comparing the sales. Now, when I say multivariate, it means more than analyzing more than two variables. So this time around, I'm looking at the sales, the product category, and the country. That's three variables. So it's a multivariate analysis. So I'm seeing how much the sales that they make for each category in each country. So it will show me the sales for an analgesics. We know that analgesics is $214,000. Now, from this $214,000, how much are we making in each country for analgesics? Same thing for antibiotics, same thing for anti-malaria, same thing for antipyretics, same thing for antiseptics, same thing for furniture, for mood stabilizers, for office supplies, for technology. Okay, so if it's something I just want to see, I want to have it at once on my dashboard without having to filter. What you do is you now drag your country, okay, to rows or columns. Rows or columns. Now, if you put it in rows, let's start here first. If you put it under category in rows, what it does is that it breaks down each product category. So under each product category, you have the what is it called? You have the country in it and how much you are getting from that country. So analgesics now, we are getting $130 from analgesics in Germany. We're getting $20,000 from Poland. We're getting 63,000 from USA. Do you see that? Then antibiotics, it breaks it down. Each one of them, it breaks it down, it breaks it down. Or I can do a cross-reference. Okay, column row comparison. So meaning instead I will drag the country to columns. So I will remove it from row, I'll put it in columns. Now it breaks it like this. I now have the country on columns and then the product category on rows. Do you see that? So easily you can see that, oh, these analgesics that we know that the total amount we're getting is 214,000. We can easily see how it's comparing in what was it called? In across the countries, how it's comparing across the countries. We can easily see that, isn't it? And then we can now see how the countries as well are performing. So USA, I can see how USA is performing when it comes to each category at once. I can see how much they're making for analgesics, how much they're making for antibiotics, for anti-malaria, and so on and so forth. So I see quickly that, oh, they are making more from technology than from furniture in USA. But in Poland, they are making more from furniture than technology. In Germany, they are making more from furniture than technology. Across the three countries, office supplies comes first, definitely. Okay, so this is a multivariate analysis. All right. Now, this is a proper approach to look at this comparison. All right. In the case where we dragged the country to rows, okay, that is not a nice approach because the country and category are not exactly related. Okay, we use this kind of scenario. Let me insert another pivot table. Okay, so now we use this kind of scenario where we already have something in the rows, then we want to put another thing in the row, okay, when those two variables are related. So what is related to category here? When I'm talking about category, I'm talking about category of products. For each category, there are distinct products under each category, isn't it? There are distinct products under each category. So if I drag in product name into the rows under category, good. So for each category, I can see the products under it. Do you see that? I can see the products under each category. Okay, so for analgesic, I can see that, okay, these are the products under analgesics. And another beautiful thing that you can do is we can now do a top 10 as well. Right click, filter, top 10. And I'll get the top 10 items by total sales. Okay. So you'd see that it gives me the top 10 products in each of the category. So in analgesics category, I can see the top 10 selling products. In antibiotics category, I can see the top 10 products as well. Okay, so this is not something that you just jump into and just feel like, oh, you can do it. Imagine the first class you had on data analysis, the introductory class, and I just gave you this data. Maybe that's what I will even do with the next cohort. I'll just give them a data, their first class, and I'll say analyze the data. They will definitely be lost in the first instance. But you can see over time now, you've gotten familiar with it. And when they give you a data analyze, you now know that, okay, yes, if the data is not clean, then I need to perform cleaning and transformation. Oh, then I convert to a proper table, and then I use my pivot table to analyze the data. So you can see from this flat sheet where I have this amount of data, this much amount of data, I am able to deduce, not just by staring at the data, but by analyzing it, that in the analgesics category, this product is the top selling. Ampicillin, or this product generates the highest sales. If I write, let me sort this one in ascending order, descending order, largest to smallest. So you can see the top under analgesics. You can see the top under antibiotics. Okay, what of in office supplies? Averi 483. In technology, Logitech mobile speakerphone. Can you see that? And you can see their prices. So you can easily see again that, oh, the top products in technology has lesser sales compared to the top 3 products in office supplies. Can you see that? It means that office supplies is in great, the office supplies are in great demand. Can you see that? So that is the beauty of data analysis. So all these insights you won't know. So you're working for a company, they generate data, generate data, generate data. You're the one that will tell them that, oh, come, oh, it is in this state that we are making the most sales. But even though we are making the most sales from this state, the profit we are getting is very little because the product that they are selling in those states are not profitable. The profit margin is low. Okay, that is why it looks as if we are making revenue, but then when we look at the profits, it's quite small. It is you, the data analyst, that will tell them that one. The accountant's job is to make sure that I'm not so vast in that area, so don't let me. But I think it's to make sure that, oh, the accounts balances, expenses, budgets, income, everything. Just make sure it balances. Okay, I don't think they will be so bothered about why they are making so little profits as opposed to when you're making so much in revenue. But you are the one that would uncover that insight when you analyze the data. Or let's say, okay, I'm not even working for a company that has to do with sales. Let's say it's an insurance company. Okay, or maybe it's a bank. I don't know, I will tell them that, come, we have customers. Our customers are divided into 2 major segments or 3 major segments. We have those at the upper echelon, those are the big customers. We have the medium, and then we have the what is it called? Small. Let's say small customers now. But you get what I mean. Okay. So you're the one that will tell them that come, even though it looks like we have 5,000 customers. Out of that 5,000, we have just 150 customers in the upper echelon. We have 150 big customers, big time customers. Okay. Then we have 1,000 medium earning customers. And then the remaining, what was it called? 3,000, what is that now? 3,850. Okay. The small customers, small earning customers. Okay. So even though it feels like, oh, we have much more small earning customers, you get, when you look at the revenue being made or the money being deposited, you see that you're getting more influx of money from the big guys. The whole big guys, the 150 big guys, how much they are depositing into the system, into the bank, is far more than how much the remaining customers are depositing. It is your analysis that would reveal that. Okay, but it's this same analysis that will now review that, but the small guys, the people, the small customers are the one that are making the most frequent transaction. I know when you make frequent transaction, the bank can easily remove this one charges, that one charges, this one charges, that one charges as well. Okay, but they won't have that money. Their money is not so much for the bank to be able to use to do business. But those top guys, those big guys, those 150 customers are bringing in the highest, what is it called, portion of the inflow of money. It is based on their own money that the bank can easily do business, do loans, give out loans, make return, and all of that. So you will see that there has to be a balance because they cannot push either customer away. It is your analysis that will reveal that. Okay. Yes, you said financial analysis take care of this. Beautiful. So the thing about data analysis now, I think I mentioned it in the very first class. Okay. I think I mentioned it in the very first class that as a data analyst, you'll be working with data. Okay. Lots of data across different sectors. But there are some sectors that you get to that, yes, you are a data analyst. You can analyze data. Okay. But you will need to gain one or two domain knowledge, understand how things are being done in that sector. Okay. But once you can get these rudiments that I'm putting you through, that I'm taking you through, you'll be able to stand strong and say that, okay, what you just need is a little bit of backup research on your own end if you get to some particular kinds of sector.
Endeavor to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you. See you in our next class. Bye.